Hello everybody. Let me just see if I can add Nerrisa. Hold on a second. Let me find. Here we go. Go live with Nerrisa. Why won't it let me invite? Oh no. Here we go. Oh no, I don't want to invite everybody. Just that one. Hello. Wait, hold on. I'm really rubbish at all this technical stuff. Hi! I literally was like, I don't know how to do this.
Well, I was like, I remember you said, "Oh, I'll invite you," but I was like, "Oh, shall I ask if I can?"
Oh, that would have been easier, wouldn't it, if you actually asked? Invite me here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, yeah, good. This is the most makeup I've put on to talk to someone in a long time, Nerrisa.
I feel awkward now because I have not put any makeup on. I have done my hair, so that's about as far as I'm willing to go.
There we go. That's good enough. That's good enough.
But with my moon face instead of having it perfectly contoured and.
Oh. Absolutely no. I don't even know how to contour. So we were going to have a chat today about your. I can never say it. I've even forgotten how to say it now. How do I say it?
Bargello.
Bargello. There we go.
Basically, I don't actually have any of the cards to show you because I've run out of stuff. But imagine it like you're saying hello, Bargello.
Hello. Oh, yeah. Hello, Bargello. Bargello. Sounds like a greeting, doesn't it?
The cards that I put in all the kits have hello puns in them. So I've got Bargello you're looking for. Why Bargello?
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Oh, apparently, Nerrisa, you're quite quiet.
Oh, better. I've got you propped up, so it might be because I'm.
Yeah, you are propped up in my pen pot. Yeah, no, you're fine to me.
Okay.
Right. So, tell us a little bit about Bargello.
Yeah, so Bargello is it's a really old method of craft.
Yeah.
Like needlepoint, but in the 70s it had the biggest resurgence, so all out color pattern, which obviously is what I'm inspired by. And in fact, I'm wearing my 70s trousers today.
Hey, look at them bad boys.
It's what I'm inspired by fashion wise. Like, I love wide legged things, as you know. I love a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that my craft would be inspired by it as well. So yeah, it's really great for all levels of craft. So one of my biggest failings in life is I just cannot master knitting. I wish I could.
I can knit in squares, that's about it.
I can't even do that. So crochet, I just can't make it happen. I was talking to lovely Zoe from Too Cute to Quit the other day about how she once tried to teach me how to do a granny square, and even she, the sweetest, calmest, was like, yeah, I think maybe just give it up for today. So, it's all about kind of like mindful, simple crafts that anyone can do. And I think the great thing about Bargello is once you know the basics, you can just go off on a tangent and do whatever you want. And there's like a few very simple rules. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I think that sounds like what everybody needs at the minute as well.
It's people say it's the perfect Netflix craft.
Oh, well, there we go then. I think I've watched the whole of Netflix. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I've completed Netflix at this point.
We need a badge. Badge of honour. Oh, so how did you get into it then? Was it something that you came across and thought, oh, I'm going to give that a go?
Yeah, so basically, my main craft is sewing. Like, I make a lot of my own clothes.
Yeah.
I love being crafty in general, but a couple of years ago, I just didn't really feel like doing anything so involved.
Yeah.
So, you know, like we do, fell down a Pinterest hole.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a cross stitch or something or punch needle or something like that. And, you know, in the search, I kept coming across these geometric things, which is totally my vibe. And you know, upon kind of exploring it, I was like, oh, this is a thing in itself. So now, and I have bought potentially every vintage book that there is.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh,
Amazing.
kind of just with me, like with crafts, I tend to really like get into them, so I'll like study them until I know as much as possible. So I'm still like very at the beginning of my Bargello journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, and I've just become obsessed with Bargelloing all of the things.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, because I came across you with Bargello. Well, I'd known you beforehand anyway from like craft fairs, stuff like that. But I saw you on Kirsty's Handmade Christmas. Hello, superstar. Where you made that stunning stocking. Oh my God.
Yes, well, I was gonna get it, and then I realised I packed it away because it's Christmas. But what I do have, claim to fame, is the piece Kirsty finished on TV. So
there we go. Oh, we should frame that.
yeah, so that's the piece that I showed her in the clip, where she then voiced it over and said that I basically told her to come away. I did, because I was under a lot of pressure to finish.
Oh my God, I don't know how you did it. Honestly, I would be like shaking as well.
It's funny because it was obviously very different from what I gathered to the other years, because we were in almost like a bake-off style tent with no sides.
Yeah.
The only way they're allowed to film at the moment is like having circulation.
Open. Yeah.
So, that filming actually happened at like 7 in the morning.
Really?
We were on site from like 6, and I got lost down a country lane trying to get to this frigging place. And they had to send a torch to find me, like it was 19. When I then got there, like a sweaty, curly mess, I just went straight in. But obviously, it was freezing.
Yeah.
So we're in this tent with the sides open, and obviously, what do you need to craft? Your hands.
Yeah, yeah.
What you didn't see behind the sewing machine was my pile of eaten Freddo frogs and just cups of tea constantly to around to keep your fingers warm. But I was more concerned about the cold, if I'm honest, than actually finishing the project. So, yeah.
Oh, it was so good. If anybody missed Nerrisa on Kirsty's, it was Handmade Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You need to go on to more 4 because it's still on there. Because I went on there earlier to find out how to say Bargello again.
So, I don't know if yours was the same, but I am the icon for my.
You are the icon, that's right. Yeah.
That's the same now. If you go on all 4, it's looking all confused and.
But you're under the stocking episode, I think it's called, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one. There you go.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah, no, I said the same. Curly Kale Designers just said you should have won. I did say the same. I loved it. It was so nice, honestly. So, like, with how do you come up with like your colour combinations? Do you just like, because with me, I quite often will see something and think, oh my God, I love those colours. What can I make with that? Is that kind of what you do? Like, you see something or?
That I actually get asked a lot, because I think the thing with Bargello is, and it's, you know, if this to your taste, then that's fine, is it can get a bit tacky depending on the colours that you use.
Right.
So
yeah.
You have to kind of be quite careful that you don't get too carried away with the colours, because otherwise it's just a lot.
It's like a psychedelic mishmash.
The way I come up with my palettes is, I think I've got quite a good eye for colour anyway.
Yeah.
What I have is a Pinterest board where save images or color combinations of things I like. So it could be a place, it could be a product where I've seen a combination that I like, or a lot of the time like vintage wallpapers I really love as well, because kind of 70s style patterns in them, and then a lot of the palettes you can kind of pull from. So I always start on Pinterest. There's a Bargello edit board, so if you need inspiration,
we'll go onto there.
And yeah, I kind of just have a play, and you know, I haven't got one here because basically I end up giving everything away because I keep running out of stock. But one of the hanging planter kits was inspired by a footstool that I loved the colour palette.
Oh, nice.
I kind of took those shades and then it had a lot more shades in it, but just tweaked them. So I think it's it's also not getting carried away with the colours and kind of saying, right, this is the main focus colour I want.
Yeah.
It, and then everything else in between is kind of like a paler filler.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it ideal to have like a certain amount of colours? Like,
I mean, all of the projects I have, I'm looking around, you can't see this, but they're all kind of on this pegboard. But all of the projects I have, I kind of tend to have a maximum of sort of 4 or 5 colours.
yeah,
Not, you know, a hard and fast rule, but I find it's easier to keep control of
yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely.
And if I do have more colours than that, then some of them are very similar shades.
Yeah.
Teal and orange kit has 3 shades of orange, but there's like 1 pop and then a couple that are just neutral.
Yeah,
So,
like a little bit more muted.
yeah. So I always tend to start with like everything is a colour clash, because I think if everything clashes, then everything matches technically. Pick my kind of colour clash. So, for example, it might be teal and orange, and then kind of work with more neutral tones.
Yeah, through that. Yeah. So, talk us through the actual like basic steps of how to kind of do it.
Yeah. So I've got some supplies here.
Very Blue Peter of you.
Because I'll mess it up and then I'll just.
Okay.
The great thing about Bargello is most people have what you need in your stash, or like a version of it. So you can probably get started sooner rather than later.
I could maybe whip these walls down and do with you.
So I use plastic grid, which is a 10 count. I sell it, but you can get it from other places.
Yeah.
But basically, I use this for anything that needs structure. So plant pot covers that I do, or the wall hanging, it's a really good material for beginners, because it kind of is quite easy to see the squares. You probably can't see it that well on here, but it's got more defined squares than like Ada. But at the same time, Ada that you would use for cross stitch and things like that is also perfect for sort of cushions or anything where you want flex in your project.
Yeah.
So either, and let's be honest, we've all wanted to be an embroiderer at some point, so we have that now.
I just don't have the patience.
Anything that involves counting, and if it's I use, but again, you'll probably be able to think of a million alternatives, tapestry walls. So basically they come in, I think it's like 300 colours.
Wow.
And
nice.
Number on it. So these are DMC ones that I use. So it's got this little number on it that tells you what the colour code is. But you can get loads of different shades, and they're great because they come in like 8-meter lengths. So you don't then end up with like I've got like a basket of wool and you've only used 1 meter of it.
Yeah.
It's a great way to use up wool scraps if you've got leftover from a project, or you, again, like me, just keep buying it even though you're never going to be able to knit.
Or I buy it and then realise that I've already got 5 of them. So
this entire room that I'm in is just things I've bought twice and forgotten about. Using tapestry wool, you'll just need a size 8. I use a size 18 needle for tapestry wool, which I'm holding up, you can't really see. Kind of a standard needle, but it's blunter on the end. So if you're a klutz like me, you're less likely to damage yourself. Using this as an example, I kind of this is a rag rugging canvas and then chunky wool from Hobbycraft.
Okay, cool.
I think once you know the basics, you can kind of go from there with it and just I'm sure that anyone who's watching loves craft, because that's what you guys do. Got a creative enough mind that they can go, well, actually, I want to have a go with this or have a go with this.
Yeah.
It's about kind of giving you the basics so that you can then run away with it, you know. Like I said, I'm not gonna stitch on here, but essentially the idea being that you with your stitches you only do straight lines. Now that's how I teach it, because obviously people that come beginners, there are different methods where you can do diagonal stitches or sideways stitches, but I'm very much focused on the people who just want to get
that would be me. I'd have no clue.
There are more talented people out there that know how to do all of that stuff, so yeah, I'm staying here at the beginner. But just to give you an example, so this little planter cover is like a scallop stitch, and all
Oh,
is built up the lines to create shape. So it's not particularly difficult stitch.
yeah.
If you then want to get more complicated, this wall hanging
Wow.
it looks really complicated, but actually if you look closely, all I've done is stitched hearts and then
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. I was looking at the triangle bit.
and then flipped them over and then just filled the gaps that leaves. So it's not as complicated as it seems.
Yeah.
Once you know the basics, you can just experiment. And this, I completely freestyled this one.
That's so nice as well.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, so I thought, let
Yeah.
me start. And then it just worked. So,
Yeah.
like, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
No, it's so pretty as well, isn't it? Like, I just think it's so nice. I think because the colour and everything that you use, it just brings like an old traditional craft into like the new age.
And that's the thing is like, obviously everyone's style is different. If you follow me because of my sewing, then you'll know that I'm very much about taking modern things that I'm inspired by and then making them fit me. So
Yeah.
I always take pride in people going, what shop is that from? Like, no, I just ripped it
No,
off.
no, this is a bit of me.
A giant long body. The Bargello stuff. I like practical things.
Yeah.
And you can have it in your home or give it to someone as a gift. I think embroidery is amazing, but there's only so many hoops you can have.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. So what's the most crazy thing that you've made with the Bargello?
I think probably so far is the stocking.
Yeah,
Because that just kind of, I think, came out of my brain. Like,
yeah, I love that.
when the producers got in touch, because they saw that I was doing Bargello and they were like, do you fancy a challenge? So I was like, okay. So that's kind of where that came from. But it was literally like, I had it in my head and I was like, I think this will work. And then me and my lovely mum, this was in the middle of whatever lockdown we're in now.
Yeah.
She lives down in Suffolk, and we were in a town that had a craft shop, and I was like, let's just pick some things and see if it works.
Oh, that sounds so. Oh, it's nice that your mum had an input in it as well.
Very crafty. I think she was marginally irritated that it wasn't her who was on it.
She's probably watching it going, no, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that.
But yeah, so we were sort of in the shop, and then my mum was saying to the woman, you might see this on TV soon.
Oh, bless her.
Telling anyone, mum, but that's fine.
I have signed a disclaimer, Mum, but don't worry about it.
That's fine. Yeah, it was fun kind of like walking around this cute little market town with this massive roll of rug ragging canvas. Rug ragging still to this day, so it's quite interesting that you kind of can use them for these other things. So
yeah, I love it. When I was thinking about it earlier, I was like, oh, I wonder like what other things you've kind of made that, because I thought to myself, oh, I might give it a go and like make a rainbow one.
yeah. So you can get canvases in different shapes as well.
Oh, okay.
Many available here in the UK, weirdly. I think it's you can get like these but already in a template. So I've got somewhere that's already in the shape of a clutch bag. So you it's awful, but yeah, I'm gonna get that. But you can get circular ones, so I guess you can get coasters and things like that.
Yeah.
Or my lovely friend Rachel, she did the class that I do to make the planter, ordered grid and then made a decoration for the top of her Christmas tree. Like she just
that's so nice.
figured it out. So I am already aware that the people that come to the workshops are going to quickly outdo in terms of skill.
Yeah, but you taught them the basics. That's all that matters.
Remember me when you're famous.
So you offer workshops on your website as well as kits as well, don't you?
Yeah, so it's kind of some of the pieces take such a long time that it just wouldn't like I do one piece a year. I do workshops which are the beginner Bargello, so you'll get all the material sent to your door to make one of these, and then you join the Zoom I'll talk you through it. And actually, it's really nice. Like I've had a couple of people that have come back just because it's really nice. Like, how much do you miss craft workshops?
Yeah, oh God. Even like the craft shows, everything is.
Yeah, chatting to like friendly, crafty faces.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a social session, and we all just talk about what, like Bridgerton.
Oh my God, Bridgerton.
What we're watching on Netflix, and it's really nice because we've had people like from all over the world joining. So
Yeah.
we had this lovely lady called Suzanne from Texas, who'd never heard of Gogglebox before. Now, have you ever tried to explain Gogglebox to someone? Because messaged me after and she was like, I had a friend over for dinner and we watched it together. It's amazing. It's kind of, I love being social.
Yeah.
I'm good at talking. I don't know if you've noticed. So it's really nice to teach someone a skill, but not feel like, you know, sometimes you go to these craft workshops and you're like sweating because you can't.
Yeah. You feel like the pressure is on.
Yeah. So I kind of talk people through, because this project's made up of panels. So
Right.
go through the first panel together. I kind of hold everyone's hand, and then for the last kind of half an hour we just chat, and everyone just
that's really nice.
And then by the time you leave, you know exactly what you're doing. And more often or not, people obviously just stay where they were and keep stitching until they've finished.
Yeah, that's so good though, isn't it?
And I love seeing how everybody interprets the pattern and the colour palettes and stuff. But one of the things I am doing is this colour palette is a Valentine's special. So I just worked on a day that's happening on Valentine's Day to encourage bring their galantines along.
Galantines.
Yeah, so that, and then I'm also doing a social session, which I haven't announced yet, so you can have an exclusive.
Oh, there we go, guys.
Exclusive. Basically, it will be after that workshop on the Sunday, and it's just an hour where you bring whatever project you're working on. It doesn't have to be Bargello, and basically wear pink or red, and there might be a Bargello shaped prize. And basically, yeah, just craft. And so yeah, that's
that's a really nice thing to do, I think, for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think everyone's just missing spending time with people at the moment. I know.
Definitely.
So yeah, and I've like the Hidden Hearts kit, which is the wall hanging I showed you, is like the loss of a friend that I had this year. On this ongoing you know, fundraising now to kind of try and raise awareness of mental health. I know, like, I'm probably won't be the only one here that uses craft for my mental health.
Definitely.
Ensuring that people speak to each other and kind of keep communicating is really important to me as well. So that's where that comes from. So yeah, definitely. So craft. Megan, I miss crafting with you as well.
So has anyone who is watching, if you have any questions, then please put them on and Nerrisa can answer them.
That moment where no one asks the question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So where are some more anyway? So as obviously you've got Bargello nailed, you obviously have your website for that, which is the Bargello Edit, isn't it? Which people can find on Instagram. But for lockdown, obviously this is what, third time around now?
Yep.
Yeah. Are there any other crafts that you've been doing to kind of help, like with like just keeping your mind on something else? Or
yeah, I think Bargello has been a big one because obviously I tend to throw myself into things to kind of distract from the world being on fire.
Yeah.
Huge one. I also am a big time Cricut fan, which is each other because obviously I use HappyFabric stuff for everything. And because I've basically been living in sweatshirts, which is like I can't just have a plain sweatshirt, so I always use the Happy Flock.
Yes.
Have like, because I think it looks more like it's from a shop then. So,
I know. I always think that. So I try and buy like a lot of H&M men's sweatshirts because they have nicer colours than the women's ones.
I've literally, these two are in my to make pile. They're both H&M.
There you go. They're so nice, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're so I see they're great quality as well. Like, yeah,
Yeah, but they're always the ones that I will get and then be like, right, what can I like add on top? But I always find, like you just said, block is always the thing that just makes it feel like
a real
bit more expensive. Yeah, not a handmade, like a homemade decorated jumper.
But I'm trying to think what other crafts I've been doing. I mean, to be honest, I obviously love sewing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of November was spent making things for other people. So I haven't done anything for myself for a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm about to start making the most amazing faux fur mint green coat.
Oh, I was about to say, what have you got planned for this
Well,
year?
I think are basically the only thing that you can get multiple wear out of at the moment that isn't.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm really conscious I don't want to make a load of clothes for lockdown that I then will never touch again. So like coats, I love a coat. So that's what I seem to be constantly making at the moment.
Okay. Honestly, I'm with you on that. If you ask my husband, he'd be like, we need another house just for the coats and jackets.
In our hallway, there's currently 2 new coat hooks. And they're like really nice made.com ones. And he was like, we're going to put them up separately. You can put your coats on one. And I'm saying, you've got too much stuff.
Very politely, but somebody's asked the question about the plant workshop and wondered, is it easy enough to size up for a larger plant?
Oh yeah, 100%. So we talk about that so basically in the workshop, the planter that you do fits I want to say an 8 centimeter pot. So,
okay, yeah.
One of the ways that I tend to size it up is literally by measuring the circumference of the pot and dividing it into equal parts, and then width of each part, and then you can cut your panel to that width and length. Hopefully. Yeah.
No, it does. I just haven't got a calculator for a brain.
I have to draw everything out. Hopefully, question kind of. But yeah, no, you can definitely size them up.
Yeah, that's good to know. It's good to know. So, what other project, you've got your coat going on? Any other projects? Because obviously we don't know whether any craft fairs are going to be on this year. So
it's really it's funnily enough, I was having a conversation with the girls from the Fold line the other day, and saying that the last time we saw each other, and in fact the last time I saw the HappyFabric team, except from you because you were having a baby,
I was
at the knitting and stitching show. That's the last time.
Was that right? This time last year?
Yeah. How has it been that long? Because I was freelancing, working with Cricut.
Yeah.
So literally, like, how has that been a year already?
I know, that is absolutely mad, isn't it?
I'm not going to think about how that many people crowded into one space makes me feel so stressed right now.
I know, isn't it strange? Like, now when I think about, like, God, we used to get so close to each other.
But it's because when I saw Hayley, she shouted at me across the hall because it was so busy, and she was like, I'm 6'1". So she was like, I could see you above everyone.
Yeah. Oh.
At a show, because you could just see me over everyone. You can kind of see people's faces, well, either light up or start to cry when they see me on the corner.
Always lighting up.
Very nice. I was like, I can't believe that that's the last time that we were together.
I know, and who knows when it will be again. It's crazy, isn't it?
Let's not think about it.
No, it gets me down. Let's do some crafting. I'm just trying to think what other questions I had. Anything? I think we might have covered everything that I was going to say. So, are there any things that you would love to try with Bargello? Like anything that you really want to make? Yeah,
I mean, I've got some things planned, but obviously I don't want to give them away. Basically, what I will say is, obviously there's lots of Bargello projects out there already. I love to make my life much more difficult by trying to do newer things. for. So that's kind of my main focus. My next kit, because it's been the most requested, will be a cushion, because
Oh, lovely.
so many people have asked. So I'm kind of going to start working on that at the moment. I've got this was a pre-order, so I'm having a packing party on Friday.
Very nice.
50 of those to pack up. So once those have gone out, I'll start working on the next one. So yeah, that's the one that is kind of the most normal one I hope that I'll bring out this year.
Yeah.
I've got some really cool ideas and some exciting things that I'm working on, and some collaboration with other independents as well who I admire. So not everything will be specific to Bargello. It might be a bit of a hybrid or something.
Ooh, that sounds very exciting.
I know people.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's really interesting. Like, obviously the great thing about independent businesses is that we don't have to get permission from someone. No. You can just be like, do you like this idea? And then you work on it together. So
yeah, and it kind of evolves from there as well, doesn't it? Like, you come up with one little idea, and then I almost find once you voice it to somebody, it then ends up growing into something even better than what the original idea was.
I can tell you, like, 2 of the collaborations are nothing to do with stitching. Like,
yeah,
Bargello inspired, but they're not.
Yeah.
Quite cool. So hopefully you like them.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Oh. Well, I think that is about everything. Unless you want it. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Well, Subway for lunch. It was great.
It's better than what I had.
I've got my tripod and everything set up because my afternoon is taking some more pictures for social media. So that's what I will be doing this afternoon, is getting some more shots. Try and keep Instagram looking beautiful.
I know. It's a challenge. I find that obviously, like, being in lockdown, it's so hard to be permanently feeling like inspired all the time. Like you said earlier about Pinterest. Thank God for Pinterest, because I'm permanently on there at the moment, and then obviously you get into a rabbit hole and then you find something amazing. So
because I have not 1, not 2, but 3 Instagrams. So
God.
Content fresh is a daily, an hour.
Yeah.
So different. Well, my own Instagram and then Bargello Edit is similar, but then my main business, as it were, is PR. So trying to come up with like witty content when you don't have a product to photograph.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. We do indeed. Oh, well, it was so nice chatting with you.
Having me, I really appreciate it.
No, anytime. And hopefully I've got everything crossed that we will actually see you this year.
Yeah, I've got everything crossed too. I need to get out of this bloody house.
Same. Right, well, hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
See you later. Take care.
Bye.
Hi everyone.
Hello.